Tiny Toons say gay rights. Steven Spielberg, he's most certainly a guy alright that made a lot of movies. You got Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T., Ready Player One. Yeah, that's a good note to end it all on, Steve. But if you were just a kid in the 90s, you definitely know that name Steven Spielberg from another sort of things. Of course, talking about the Spielberg cartoons that he produced. Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Freakazoid, my personal favorite. These cartoons kinda still hold up today. They're very entertaining. Classic slapstick cartoon nonsense while having a lot of really good humor that kind of hits it in a few spots.
Wait, let's watch the lip sync, okay?
No, fingerprints. I don't think so.
Bruh.
But second to Animaniacs, anyone's mind that comes across Spielberg cartoons, it's gotta be most definitely Tiny Toon Adventures. It's kinda like Looney Tunes, but for kids. Nothing like Looney Tune Babies or whatever that was. Why the hell did they put Lola Bunny there? Like, what? Okay, hold up. I'm like looking for like a Tiny Toons Adventure to put on this video. There's like an episode where Buster drinks a beer. Like, I haven't seen the show a lot. What the fuck, Steven Spielberg?
But Buster, this isn't like you. I know, but in this episode, we're showing the evils of alcohol.
Huh, I didn't know that. Aw, son of a... Tiny Toon Adventures was pretty big at the time, maybe not as big as Animaniacs, but with an episode count of over 90 and a full-blown 2-hour direct-to-video movie, it definitely hit the landmark as one of the better cartoons around the time. And with something that big, you gotta get into the marketing, baby!
Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Now, we could argue for days about video games being a marketable thing or a very high art that should be appreciated, but come on, it's the 90s. Video games were at a high art until like Donkey Kong Country 2 hit the shelves.
Okay.
So of course they made a game on Tiny Toon Adventures. And I'm gonna be talking about this one on the Sega Genesis, Tiny Toon Adventures Buster's Hidden Treasure. Mainly because it's the only one I got right now. I mean, mainly because I thought that there were like maybe a couple of Tiny Toon Adventure games out there. How's about a dozen? They lived on long enough to go on the Game Boy Advance. That's how big Tiny Toon Adventures was back in the day. So no, I'm not gonna talk about all the games. We're here to talk about one. The last thing I wanted to have on my grave is to be the Tiny Toons Adventure video game guy. Let's just do this only one. Yep, Konami made this alright. They made quite a lot of Tiny Toon Adventure games back in the day before the PlayStation hit, so it's something to see that. Yeah, that's Konami alright. You can never hear that orchestral hit anywhere else. That's Konami. So, the deep plot for Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster's Hidden Treasure on the Sega Genesis. Buster finds a map. Maximilian here takes it and it says it's a treasure map. Buster's like, hey, I found that first. It's my treasure. Max is like, no. I kidnapped your friends and then turned them to mindless monsters. And Buster's like, well, I gotta fix this shit. I mean, it's no, Fallout New Vegas deep, but it definitely does relay the message that capitalism is the greedy root of corruption that overpowers free-thinking thoughts and it must be destroyed. I mean, there's really nothing to it. Just look at the manual and there you go. There's a story. But that's enough about that. What about the game? Buster's Hidden Treasure is your very typical 2D platformer sort of deal. You, of course, control Buster Bunny in this side-scrolling adventure. You'll go by zipping through levels as a blue-colored animal, jumping on springs, avoiding spikes. At the end of each stage, you gotta fight an evil scientist. Wait a second, this is just Sonic the Hedgehog! I mean, I'm not accusing of Konami for stealing ideas from Sonic the Hedgehog. It's just that the similarities are there on the same console. It's just kinda weird is the thing.